We live in a world where every pixel, every sound effect, and every button press is designed to make you feel something that never happened to you. Retro interfaces and lo-fi visual languages are now standard tools in UX UI for creating perceived authenticity. Like the crackling of old radios or the soft blur of a Polaroid. These aren't just aesthetics. They're emotional placeholders, stand-ins for experiences we didn't actually live through. The past is not being remembered here. It's being reenacted, as if it was always there. Father's concept of studium helps us understand this shift. It's the idea that cultural memory can become a passive interest, something we consume rather than live. When design repackages nostalgia, it becomes a kind of background comfort noise, like wallpaper on a screen or the scent of old coffee in an artisanal cafe. There's no critical engagement, just curated sentimentality. This is what happens when history is flattened into style and sold as authenticity. It's not about is alive in every product we touch. It's a formal attachment to past styles, not driven by remembrance, but by design's need for something that already feels like home. This isn't about loss, it's about controls. We're being sold trust and intimacy through the illusion of shared memory, even when we've never had it. The digital ghosts aren't just in our devices, they're curating how we feel about them. What was once a personal yearning is now an algorithmic strategy. And that's where the real magic lives.
The year 1958 in America marked a pivotal convergence of post-war optimism and Cold War urgency.
We've all used it. Instagram's retro filter, its grain and soft edges evoking analog film. But this is not nostalgia in any organic sense. It's algorithmic mimicry. A calculated aesthetic designed to bypass skepticism with the illusion of authenticity. What we see as human touch is often the output of neural networks, trained on decades of handwritten samples. These systems don't understand sentiment. They just repeat patterns that make us feel nostalgic, and that feeling, it sells. As one mid-century ad declares, design has always been about wrapping the soul in aesthetic, only now that soul is artificial. The idea of authenticity was already a fiction. Today, it's a feature. Consider how we trust handwritten thank you notes or vintage font logos. They signal intimacy and sincerity even when both are algorithmic. Postman warned us, technology redefines truth, and in product designs. This means authenticity has become just another markable characteristic. the deeper irony. We crave imperfection in a world increasingly obsessed with precision. Our digital tools are flawless, but we long for the messiness of the past because it feels more human. This is why AI generated handwriting sells, and why Instagram filters dominate our feeds. Each a simulation of what we think was real before screens became our default lens. Nostalgia isn't a memory anymore. It's a design choice with clear commercial intent.
Modern packaging does more than wrap and hold and conceal. Stunning in color, ingenious in design.
In a world drowning in algorithmic sameness, we hunger for signs of life. Flickers of imperfection that suggest something human once touched this thing. But what happens when those flickers can be coded into existence? AI models trained on decades, old recordings now breathe warmth back into sterile MIDI files, not by accident, but design. These tools don't just replicate the past, they weaponize it. The result is a counterfeit authenticity, so convincing that we mistake simulation for soulfulness. It's like, even as we look back at early digital interfaces, we see the seeds of today's simulation technologies growing in plain sight. In a 1986 Computer Chronicles episode, engineers proudly demonstrate MIDI by syncing drum machines and samplers with perfect precision, then immediately apologize for how mechanical it sounds. They introduce manual humanization, buttons to add randomness, as if authenticity can be dialed up like a knob. Today's AI tools do the same thing, but at scale. Algorithmically faking breaths in just this week. Headlines reminded us that even AI companies are trying to outsmart each other by faking what they can't replicate. OpenAI and Anthropic have both admitted their models still struggle with the nuances of Indian IT workers, despite spending billions on perfecting natural language processing. But rather than face reality, these systems now simulate regional accents, micro delays in speech, even code switching between Hindi and English to pass as human. It's not just a technical arm.
We have a new human being, and that's Chris Potter of Memetics Corporation, a new synthesizer, the Yamaha DX100, and a new computer, the Commodore Amiga.
Barthers once wrote that meaning lies in that. Has been in objects imbued with memory and history. But today, AI doesn't just recapture what was, it forges what never existed. Our phones don't remember the past, they fabricate it. We now have stylized memories of places we've never been, people who didn't exist, moments that are algorithmically plausible but emotionally hollow. The Pope recently warned that humanity is losing its grip on objective truth. His words are not just moral concerns. They're a statement about design fiction surpassing lived experience. Nostalgia, once rooted in personal or cultural history, is now a programmable effect. We are designing our past faster than we can live them. Postman foresaw a technopoly where technology rewrites language. But what about memory? Nostalgia has become the last vestige of meaning in an age ruled by algorithmic storytellings. It is both our comfort and our dissonance, a final attempt to grasp coherence as everything around us becomes fictional, yet feels familiar.